as I said, this all started out with me talking about there are those early years where I often think I honestly don't know why I did any of the things I did. I think it was all compulsion. Like I don't come from a world.
Right.
My parents had nothing to do with show business. I don't come from a show business world.
Right.
I went into an environment that was supposed to be the opposite of all that. And I, like a salmon swimming upstream, I don't understand why I made most of the decisions I made. There was some sort of compulsive thing that was pushing me into, I think there's this thing I'm supposed to do and I've got to get there.
Right.
And so you go through that period and then you get, here we are all these years later, and my overwhelming feeling, and I know gratitude is a word that's thrown around a lot and it's become cliched. I'm incredibly grateful, but the other feeling I have is and I've had this feeling too, occasionally, you must have this, where I'll run into someone that graduated from college the same year I did, and I didn't know them, but they'll say, "Oh, Conan, I graduated in 85," and I'm filled with this one thought, which is, "Hey, we're alive." That's my overwhelming feeling is, I'm sorry I didn't get to know you on campus. I can't believe we both went for 4 years and didn't know each other, but that happens all the time at these schools. But the other one is just like, we're still here.
Right.
There's a lot of people who aren't. And I'm just happy about that. And I contrast that guy who I am now with the guy in 1993 who feels like someone's got a gun in his mouth. You know what I mean?
But the weird thing is it may be just as you said, which is if you hadn't had felt that way, you wouldn't have pushed yourself to get to that other side of gratitude, that it wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
And I think compulsion is a really apt description of, I think, for me, it definitely, I don't know if it was compulsion as much as there was a little bit of like Richard Dreyfuss building the potato tower.
That's what I'm talking
you're not
about.
Sure.
In E.T., yeah.
Right. It wasn't E.T., it was
Close Encounters.
Yeah.
No, he also does it in E.T.
He does it everywhere. Every movie.
Yeah, someone
in Jaws.
Fix
If you remember in Jaws, he builds the tower of mashed potatoes.
Also, Mary Poppins.
We're gonna need a bigger plate. That's what they say.
Yeah. It happens in a lot of movies, but anyway.
Always Dreyfuss, always potatoes, always Devil's Tower.
Constantly covering for my blunders.
No one knows why. But I remember...
I know exactly what you're talking about. Go ahead.
This idea that I was vibrating on a frequency that didn't match my life. Mm-hmm. It didn't match. And the first place that it began to match it is I worked at this punk club in Trenton called City Gardens. Mm-hmm. And it's sort of this legendary punk club. There's a great movie written about it called Riot on the Dance Floor. It's about there was a little guy who was a postmaster during the day named Randy Now, who booked all these bands like Bad Brains and Black Flag and all these tremendous, bands. And I was out of college. I didn't know what the fuck to do with myself. And I found this punk club with all the music that I loved and all these incredible artists that would never come to Trenton, New Jersey. Like they'd go to Philly, they'd go to New York, and on their way, they would end up in this shithole neighborhood in Trenton. And working there and feeling that creative energy, I was like, these people are vibrating on that frequency. Mm-hmm. I can't follow that road because I don't know music. I don't feel that, but I'm going to find it.
Yeah.
And
your version of it.
My version of it. Yep. And that was moving to New York. So working at City Gardens is what propelled me to just sell my shit and move to New York. In pursuit of, I didn't even really know what.
Yeah.
But it felt like it had to be something creative and collaborative and something.
It's so funny that it's a great analogy to the Making the Mashed Potato Mountain because in E.T., but also but also in Close Encounters.
Mr. Holland's Opus.
Thank you, Mr. Holland's Opus and Dead Poets, and also in Dead Poets Society. But anyway,
when each of his students came in and tasted the mountain, each one, oh, Mr. Holland, how I'll miss your potatoes.
But if I look at me, and again, this is I'm just some sort of garbled. I always wish I could. I know I have some wisdom to pass on. I just don't know that I have the eloquence to pass it on. But
You're doing it.
I didn't know, and you didn't know. We didn't know exactly what it is we were supposed to be doing, but there was something that was pushing us in these different directions.
Right.
And I knew when I was around that energy for the first time in college in the Lampoon, like, what is this? I don't know what this is, but and I thought maybe I got to go to Second City, but I wrote them a letter, and they wrote me back. I didn't know
Dearest improvisational actors, dearest, I've got an emotion for you. It's called Wanderlust.
Yeah. Seriously, I wrote them a letter because I thought I was writing to a bank. I think I tell that to Tina Fey, and they just laugh at me like, no, you go to Second City, and I wrote them a letter. Didn't seem to work out.
Would you have any interest in a young Irish boy?
Yeah. Oh, you'll see. There's big things coming from me. But so much of what I did, I didn't understand at the time, but I knew I had to do it. And that's where I'm in doing improv and meeting all these people who are 10 years away from being super famous, and we're just putting money in a jar. And I don't know why I'm doing this, and I can't explain it to anybody, but it's like a fever. It's just a fever that you have.
Yes.
And then later on, you're doing your thing. And
you can't force it. And not everybody does feel that in different ways. It was very clear that, my friends had gone a very different route. And in some ways, I felt like, especially in the early years, they were all like somewhat disappointed in me in that I couldn't get my shit together. Like, I definitely drank too much, did too many, because I was just lost. Like, I just didn't know what to do. And also, living that lifestyle at, punk clubs it's not like, Stivs, Baders, and the Lords of the New Church roll through, and you're like, have you tried this new green juice? It's phenomenal.
Right.
Like,
how's your cholesterol?
Those guys are vomiting on stage. Like, it just wasn't the healthy lifestyle. But the way I've tried to articulate, I think, that feeling, and maybe you tell me if you think this is sort of apropos, but is that idea to trust your discomfort.
Yeah.
To trust your discomfort that I'm in this situation right now, and I am uncomfortable, and I've just got to find a way to articulate for myself why it's making me uncomfortable and why I need to make a change. And hopefully the act of making change, right, is the antidote to that discomfort and anxiety. Now, do you know that change will be successful? You have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
But the act of doing it teaches you in some respect that you are not a prisoner of your circumstance, mind, situation. Any of those things are, your fate has not been written, boy.
Well, I would say if in some alternate universe, the Jon Stewart show that you started on MTV that went to Paramount and it gets canceled, if that had turned out to be the end, you would not, and whatever you were doing now, you would not regret a second of it.
That's why it takes me back sort of to earlier in the conversation when you said, what was that moment for you? And it really was the pivot point, the cleaving of the life that I was going to lead to the life that I ultimately was lucky enough to lead.
Yep.
Was one night, and I remember it so clearly, like one night, and I worked at this place called City Gardens, and I worked at this other bar called The Bottom Half. It was underneath the liquor store on Route 1. And I remember saying to them, you know what? Fuck this place. Fuck this life. I'm moving to New York. And they were like, have fun at the gay pride parade. It's like, that was the kind of bar that it was.
Yeah.
And that moment to me was the moment.
Yeah.
Like when they say, what's the best, when did you know you'd made it? And I was like, I knew I'd made it when I hooked that U-Haul up to the rental truck and just drove.
Yeah.
And just went up to the city.
Yeah.
And that was it.
I do always try to tell younger people, you have less to lose than you think.
No question.
Just if you
Great
think
advice.
it, try it. Just try it. And you don't know, but you'll learn something from it.
Right.
And I do end with, because I've kept you longer than most guests. Just because I know you're parked
actually,
in a...
I have another guest coming. I'm using this room.
Oh, go ahead.
By the way, thank God it's in this building.
Yeah,
when we first drove up here, I thought we were taping out of the back of the medical spa.
No.
So I almost pulled into that parking lot and was like, wow.
We're going to get out of the way.
Interesting.
We're going to get out of the way so you can talk to Hal Linden, who's here.
What?
Right now. Yes, he's here.
Looks like we made it.
Hey, kids, look up Hal Linden. You'll enjoy it. But I'm glad you're alive.
Thank you.
And I'm glad I'm alive.
Yes.
And congrats again on all your success. And thanks for doing this. This was really fun. And
My pleasure. I'd wanted to do it for a while. I'm a huge fan of it. I love listening. You know, there's very little now that you can listen to that elevates your endorphins and your dopamine levels in a way that your podcast does with all the different guests. And so much out there that's toxic to the system. And so this is a really nice salve for all of that. So
I've often thought of myself as a salve or a balm, which is
always
actually the word.
Balm, always a salve.
A balm.
Yes.
Jon,
thank you, sir.
Go with God.
What?
Whichever God you want.
I didn't have any of them. Well, now I don't know what to do. I'm lost.
I'm talking about Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
The carpenter?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Seated at the right hand of the Father, he will come again in glory to judge the living and the dead. And his kingdom will have no end.
Who's at the last? Is it Rickles? Who is it?
It's Rickles. It's Rickles and then
all
Jesus.
Right. Done.